Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. The logjam of barges along the Mississippi River appears to be growing by the day. The backup coming at a critical time as harvest ramps up. Reuters reporting about 100 towboats hauling about 1,600 barges are lined up. They're waiting to pass through an area on the river near Lake Providence, Louisiana, in the northern part of the state. As we've been reporting, low water levels on the river due to drought are impacting the flow of grain to U.S. Gulf Coast export terminals. The National Weather Service predicting the reading at Memphis, Tennessee will reach its second lowest level ever later this month. Now, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is dredging the river to try and deepen the shipping channel, but towing companies are cutting the number of barges per tow by nearly 40%, and shippers are loading less cargo per barge in an effort to allow vessels to sit higher on the water. Now, Reuters says many U.S. Gulf exporters have been forced to pull orders for corn and soybeans loaded for this month and next, saying they can't commit to new sales right now. And that is already having an impact on prices farmers are getting in the Midwest, just as harvest ramps up. AgDay's Michelle Rook joins us with the very latest. Michelle.
Clinton, the combination of the slower barge traffic on the Mississippi is combining with slower rail movement and increasing harvest pressure. This has caused cash basis levels to collapse in the central and eastern Corn Belt, which means lower grain prices for farmers there. This is a stark contrast to what they're seeing in areas of the Corn Belt hit hard by drought. Last year at harvest, farmers saw some of the strongest basis and cash prices in years, but that's not the case in the central and eastern Corn Belt this fall. Basis is collapsing partially due to lower barge movement, with Mississippi River water levels the lowest since 1988.
If you're looking anywhere in aggregate markets around the river that are feeding it, or certainly directly on the river, we've seen that widen out quite a bit.
In areas like Decatur, Illinois, soybean prices around processing plants on September 20th were at $16.64, with basis $1.84 over the board. But the cash bid on October 5th was down $3 from that to $13.64 with a negative 10-cent basis.
I think it's about $3 right now to load a barge and get it down to SIF out of St. Louis. So it makes sense as we see those effects push out into wider markets that would be there.
Anchola says that effect could last for a while this fall.
I also think that producers need to be ready for a compounding effect there, because not only is a lack of rain going to cause river levels to stay low, but it's also going to make harvests continue progressing faster and faster here.
Cash basis levels haven't broken as much in the West due to the grain deficit in drought areas. Cash basis was historically strong there all summer, and that continues. USDA shows Kansas corn basis ranging from a positive 40 cents to as high as $1.50 above the futures in the South.
Livestock feeders, ethanol plants, those that can export, exporters as well, trying to scramble for supplies.
And O'Brien says that problem won't ease anytime soon.
From March to August, March to September, when we're waiting for a new crop, at that time we'll have to supplement our supplies with out-of-state corn.
Chola says they're already moving lower-priced grain to deficit areas of the West as the strong cash basis levels are attracting grain to those markets. So from a marketing perspective, farmers in the areas that have seen a substantial drop in cash prices may have to store their crop and wait for basis to improve, as eventually those strong basis levels in the West will lift levels farther east, or they can find an end user in those drought areas to sell to.